So thank you for purchasing Dimension. You're going to learn 3 different handlings of the effect. These handlings are for different types of situations and they're different angles. Now you're not going to be able to perform this fully surrounded, but I've had to sacrifice the angles for it to look as good as it does. Now you can perform these for a reasonable group of people down to 2 or 3 people, and I'll go through that with the different handlings. A basic talk about the history of the effect. I did start off with a Sharpian bottle, should be on YouTube somewhere, and it didn't quite look as good as I wanted it to, so I went back to the Coining bottle. Now it's taken over 12 months of performing and refining this to get it looking as good as it does. So I spent a lot of hours using different types of materials, different coins, different everything really, to get it looking as it does now. So you're probably more interested in how this actually works, so let's get into it. So first of all, what you'll need is your plastic. Now the way this works is it's going to be sitting in between these 2 fingers, so your middle and your ring finger. So the plastic needs to be thin enough not to show from each side. So you want to cut this down to about the halfway down your finger mark. So this needs cutting a tiny little bit, just thin enough so it's comfortable, and you'll see why in a second. So that fits perfectly down the middle of each one now. Now the length of it, this part needs to be sat in this cushiony part here. And you're basically going to finger palm this. Now that's comfortable here for me. You want this top half to be around about there, so halfway up this last portion of your finger, and this will allow it to be gripped properly. So if I put this back here, find out where I need to cut, so around about there, and chop it off. Now this should fit and feel comfortable. Just take a tiny bit more off. Now what you want to do is save yourself a spike in yourself, is just trim these edges, and it'll make it more comfortable to hold as well. Perfect. And that fits and feels and grips fine now. Now you want to take the magnet, and that's going to go not centre, not on the end, but somewhere sort of in the middle of that. So about 1/3 of the way up. And this, we're going to use sellotape. Now the reason why I use sellotape and not glue is because it's never seen, but also it's more flexible than super glue. I've had a lot of instances where, because the super glue is so hard, it just snaps, the magnet snaps clean off it. And this is a much quicker way as well. And that literally just fastens to it like that. It's literally as simple as that. Cut the plastic, stick the magnet on. So the plaster version, you're going to take a plaster. Now you can use the normal plasters where they come a bit longer and just cut off the sticky part. That'll work absolutely fine, but I tend to just buy packs of plasters around like this. They're basically perfect for it. So you're going to take the tabs off, place the magnet in the centre, and then this is going to go around about this area here. Now you might have to play with it with different size hands, but mine tends to go sort of between these 2 long lines here. So right by there, and then the plaster will just go straight on top of that. Stick it down, and you're done. That's it. So we'll take the borrow bottle. Now, you can hold the coin. The only way for that coin to get inside would be through the hole that you drink from. Which isn't very magical. But if you take the coin, you can chuck it straight through.
What? What the hell? Where's the slit?
Just there.
Is it? Is it?
No. So for this version, you're going to need the magnet on your palm. You're going to need a coin in classic palm, and the coin in bottle has already been handed out to be examined. So you take back the bottle and take off the lid. You can give this back to the spectator because you don't want them to think there's anything inside here. Take back the coin and explain that the only way to get a coin in the bottle is through the hole that you drink from. Now, as the coin comes out, you're going to switch it for the classically palmed one. And what you do is you hold the bottle fully in your palm, so the magnet is now in the centre. So as this coin drops out of the bottle, it sticks to the magnet, and then you're going to throw this one inside, so it looks like it comes out. And at speed, it looks like this. Now from this side, when I'm taking it out, it looks like the coin has just come straight out of the bottle, but it's obviously stuck to the palm of my hand. Now you need to take the lid back, place this on, and now you're set up to throw the coin in the bottle. Now, a couple of things. Obviously, with this being classic palmed, you need to watch your angles, and the same with this one. It's basically in a classic palm position, so you just got to watch your angles on both. Now, from here, you can show this bottle quite fairly because it's stuck to the palm. You just want to watch it, don't go too far over to show or too far under. And then all you need to do is throw it in. Now, the way this works is you're not obviously throwing it into the bottle, you're throwing it just to the side at this magnet, but it's currently stuck to this coin inside. So all you do is you just push away with your thumb. So as this coin drops, this coin is sticking to the magnet. Like this. Now this is going to take a little bit of practice because sometimes you're going to get the coin landing like this and flashing. So it's important where you do have the magnet. So you might find you might need to bring it down a little bit so that if it does land like this, it's not flashing at the top, because that's what you don't want. But once you've got it down and you've practiced it and you've got the right moment, all you need to do is just get the timing right. You do need to give the bottle a little flick, and that's what gives it the illusion that it's actually bouncing inside. And then as long as you keep this hand covered, obviously it's stuck so you don't have to do any palmy weird stuff. You can just hand it straight out. And that is version number 1. So once you hand this bottle out, all the heat is on this bottle. They're going to be checking for slits, they're going to be checking for... I've had people taking the lid off, checking the lid. That gives you so much time to get rid of this. Now you can either just get rid of the coin in your pocket, or you can actually just peel the plaster off in your hand and drop it in your pocket. If you do want to do that, all you need to do is just peel a little bit of the plaster off, like this, and then as you put your hand in your pocket, as you come out, you just roll your hand against the inside of your pocket, and that'll just peel it straight off. It's literally a 2-second job. Trust me, they'll be so fixed on this bottle and the coin, they won't even, you could literally just peel it off and put it in your pocket if you wanted. They wouldn't see anything. So that's the cleanup for this version. So to give you guys an exposed view of this, the coin is obviously stuck to the magnet in my palm, and now if you hold this down, it gives the illusion that there's nothing in the bottle because it would obviously drop to the bottom. Now all you do is you line it up, and as you throw, you're going to throw into this magnet as you pull the bottle away and let that coin drop. Now, as you're throwing like this, you do want to come up slightly with the bottle, so when that is released, it jumps. Because obviously it wouldn't just jump in a bottle and drop like this. So you do need to give it that little flick. It does take a little bit of practice to get right. Once it's done, you can hand that bottle straight out. You can hand this out like this as well with a dirty hand. It looks so clean as well. And that's just a little exposed view of the coin bottle. So in this version you do exactly the same. You get the bottle and the coin both examined, and you explain that the only reason you put a coin in the bottle would be through the hole that you drink from. Now, you show the coin, you show the bottle, and just put it straight in there, and you can have that out immediately to be looked at. Now, a lot of people have asked me, where does the other coin go? And the truth, down my shirt. Literally down my shirt. So, I came up with it by accident actually. When I was actually thinking of how to do this sort of version of coin bottle, as I was throwing it back and forth like this, trying to get how it would look best, this accidentally fell down my collar, and that's how this one came about. So all you need to do is you do exactly the same as the other versions. So you get it to the point where the coin comes out of the bottle, you put the lid back on, and then what you need to do is just make sure that this stays in contact with the coin and the bottle, and just twist this around. Now you need to watch your angles with this. Make sure that you obviously don't do this and flash it. So you just need to just turn slightly as you're showing the coin, and then everything else will be hidden. So do that again. Lid goes on. Turn this round as you show the coin, and then you can lift this up. Now from an exposed view, you'll see that you can lift your little finger up and this up slightly, but you'll know when they'll be able to see this coin. Now it's not like you're trying to hide anything. It's if I was holding a bottle and I wanted to hold it steady, that's how I would hold it. And it's this part that you're going to throw it in, this clear section. So it's not like you're trying to hide anything anyway. What you want to do is just line it up, and then you can look straight through the bottle and look the spectator in the eye. Make sure everything's dead on. And as you come back, you're going to drop this coin. As you throw, and let go, your finger needs to hit this, so that when it does go, it doesn't just drop like this. It needs to bounce around the bottle, and that gives the illusion that it's just gone through, hit the side, and bounce down. So at full speed, it looks like this. Now, at the start of this performance, what I suggest you do is pull your collar and give yourself a bit of space. It can be quite hard if you've got a t-shirt on, so you might need to just stretch it a little bit. Shirts like this, they sort of stay open. But yeah, you will need to stretch it so you can get it. It does take practice to do. All you need to do is just hold it at your fingertips, and as you're coming back, just let it drop down like this. Now, if you are wearing a shirt or a t-shirt, you will need to tuck it in, otherwise that coin's going to drop on the floor and give everything away. And that's about it really for this one. The cleanup for this, there isn't really any cleanup. It sort of does it itself. This coin lands inside. Sometimes it'll stick here, which is handy. But once that coin's in the bottle, you've just got your plaster on, and that's it. You can just hand that out and give it away. You've got nothing really to hide. You can do the same. You don't really have to take this out if you don't want to, because you're not trying to hide anything. If anything, it just looks like a plaster on your hand. I personally do take it off. I'll just peel it and take it off in my pocket. So this is the exposed view. You can see where the coin is in the bottle. You've got this coin ready. You iron everything up, make sure everything's in line with the spectator. As you come back, this is dropping, and you throw it and it hits in the bottle as you release. So you throw and drop. And you can hand that out instantly. Like just then, what happened is this stuck by here. And sometimes you'll get the coin where it does stick here like this, and that's because it just lands there. But what you need to do is just make sure that collar's out and it actually drops inside. As you're dropping this coin, you're going to make sure you're dropping it as it's sort of upside down, so it's rotating 180 degrees, and it normally just drops straight down inside your shirt. So one final thing is the actual release of the coin. Now it needs to look natural. So as you're holding it like this, exposed view, what you need to do is have your thumb sort of bent like this at the back. So what it'll allow you to do is push it straight and pull the bottle away from the coin. Now that, with the action of hitting the bottle, it will just look natural. So as you're like this, you're pulling it away. Now if you watch this part, you'll actually see the moment it does, it's probably flown past you already, but that's the way it works. And that's the easiest way to do it. So bend your thumb and push it away. So again, you ask the spectator to examine the bottle and explain the only way to get a coin inside the bottle would be through the hole that you drink from. Replace the lid. Show the coin exact. Show the bottle. And you can hand that out for examination. Keep it forever. Jeebus. So, to begin, you need the gimmick in position. Now this, like I mentioned earlier, wants to be in a finger palm. So it's starting at the top and coming down to here. And it should fit really comfortably and grip really well in there. Keeping these fingers closed, obviously so you don't expose the gimmick. If you do have a tiny little flash, because it's clear, you won't really spot anything, but try and keep those closed. And you start with a coin in classic palm, or you can start with it in finger palm. Finger palm is a lot easier if you're not used to classic palm. So you start off with the borrowed bottle examined. Undo the lid, and you can show. If you do want to show inside the bottle, what you need to do is pull these fingers down and twist, and you can show it cleanly like this. Hand the spectator the lid, which is important because you don't want them to think there's anything inside the lid. So if you put that in their hand, face up like this, take the coin, and obviously you've got your finger palm coin, and explain that the only way to get a coin inside the bottle would be through the lid. Tilt it so it drops down to the bottom, because again, you need to kind of slide this, and it's going to land straight on that magnet. like this. Now this is in finger palm and it's ready to be caught, so you don't have to drop it into finger rest position. It's literally ready there. Now it does take some practice to tilt it and throw this inside at the same time, but once you do get used to it, it's really simple. It should look like it just comes out of the bottle, and you can show that fairly. And now holding this in this position, looks like there's nothing in the bottle. You take the lid back, screw it on, and now this is a really deceptive part of it. You can spin this round. Now you keep these fingers flat and you keep it covered because you don't want anything flashing. It should now look like this. You twist the bottle, keeping everything covered. Obviously make sure you don't flash anything. And now you should land like this. So the coin is now at the bottom half of your fingers. Once you're here, you can then slide this down and the coin will follow it, which gives the perfect illusion that there's nothing there, as you're showing this. Now, there's a little knack to this, which is spinning the bottle round to get into the get ready. So now, what happens is, you've got the gimmick here, and it's resting in these fingers. What you need to do is get it into this position. So now it's on your thumb and your finger. And where this needs to be is on your middle finger, on the bottom half, the bottom section of your finger, on the fleshy part. It needs to be in there. On your thumb, it needs to be around about there. So on the fleshy part again. So you can literally hold it like this. So from that angle, it looks like you're just holding the bottle, but what's happening is you've pulled this round now, so the plastic is now going from your thumb to the bottom of your middle finger. And what this allows you to do is squeeze the plastic and bend it. And what it'll do is it'll pull that magnet away from the coin inside the bottle, and it'll make room for this coin to land in its place but on the outside. So it's just basically just swapping. Now the timing on this is crucial. If you don't get the timing right, it looks awful. So it's good to practice in a mirror. So when you're doing it, you need to face sort of not directly in front, because it is quite easy to flash, especially with the coin being pulled right around. So you can just turn slightly, and it gives a good illusion anyway, because it's like you're trying to show behind as well. It's not like you're just trying to hide behind your fingers. You're trying to show from the side view. Now, when you drop the coin through the bottle, you need to just at the last second, you need to just twist it, just to get that glint, which gives the illusion of it going inside the bottle. So as you like this, twist, glint, and then it drops as you squeeze. So as it's coming down the side of the bottle, the magnet's pulling away from the one on the inside. This coin is now landing on the magnet, and the coin in the bottle drops to the bottom. So in full motion, it's like this. So remember, just be wary of your angles. When you're performing for groups of people, you don't want to do this for a lot of people, 2, 3, 4 people maximum. And if you're using the gimmick in your left hand, you want to perform for the person who's furthest on the right, because if you're performing for someone in the middle, the people on the right are going to catch a glimpse and you're going to flash here. So always perform for the person furthest on your right that you're looking at, and you should be safe with your angles then. This hand is going to cover all of this side, so you've got nothing to worry about that side. It's just my right hand side that I need to be wary of, so I'd always come round like this. So, now you've closed the lid, you can twist this bottle on that magnet now. So everything stays exactly where it is apart from the bottle. So what's happening here is only the bottle's twisting. So the gimmick stays in place, the magnet does, the coin will twist with the bottle, but it'll stay in the same place. What you need to do is, once you've put the lid on, is twist this bottle facing upright. So now you're holding the top half of the bottle and the coin's being hidden. You can now grab this bottle and slide it. If you are using a bottle with sort of lumps and rough parts, it's not a good idea to do that. It's a good idea to actually catch the coin exactly where you want to keep it, because otherwise if you're dragging it up and down, it's going to make a horrible noise and they'll know something's in there. But if you're going to use a smooth bottle like this, they won't hear anything. So once you've spanned the bottle round, you can pull this down to the right position, and I'm going to use this sort of outer edge here. Now, you can twist this bottle around now, dragging the gimmick around with it and the coin, and that's going to land right by here, okay, in these fleshy parts, and you'll be able to feel that. And once that lands there, you can grab the bottle again. So you go from here to here. This part of the gimmick is going to land on your thumb, the fleshy part here. So once you're in position, it should look like this. And you should feel, it should feel comfortable. So now it's time to actually put the coin in the bottle. What's happening is you're squeezing this gimmick, which is releasing the coin on the inside. As this is being dropped and taking its place but on the outside. So, like this. And what's happening is, it should look like it's one coin just flowing. So the timing is crucial. You can't drop this first and then this one, because it's going to look like two coins. It needs to look like one coin. So as this is being released from here, this needs to be landing there, so it looks like one fluid motion, like this. Now this will take a lot of practice to get right, but once you do get it right, it looks like one coin. So like this. As this is being dropped, you're squeezing. It does take a lot of time to get the timing right on it, but it's just practice. You're just practicing the mirror, and you're able to get that. And it's not just a visual thing; it's a feel as well. So you're able to feel. See that I released that too early then. So as you're dropping, that's when you release, because this is landing as this is starting to fall. So it looks like just one continuous motion into the bottom of the bottle. So timing is very crucial. So now the main part of the effect is over. The coin's actually gone through to the bottle, and now you're going to want to give this away, and you need to clean up this. Easiest way to do this is on your thumb. You need to keep the pressure, but lift your fingers. And what this will do is, because this is bent from you squeezing it, you're going to release, and it'll pop back, and it'll land back into the place where you keep it for your finger palm. Okay. So once it's popped back there, you can tilt this around, twist it forward as you come forward with your thumb, and push it back into finger palm. The bottle drops and pushes it and bends it back in there nice and tight as you come up, and then can show your palm is totally empty. Everything is kept above here. Okay, go through that again. So once the coin has landed, you've got the bow in the plastic here. You need to release with your fingers, twist. As you push with your thumb, push it back into finger palm. Now see what's happened here? It's fallen over to the side. that's fine. You can still palm it off absolutely fine. You just need to push it in and squeeze it exactly the same as you would, and that's going to palm it off nicely, and you still won't be able to see anything. So another thought is about types of bottles. The one I think works best are smooth bottles, because they're so clear, and they're a lot easier to do. You can do a lot more when you can like move the coin up and down inside the bottle without making a noise. But you can perform with loads of different types of bottles. I've used Gatorade bottles, Fanta bottles, water bottles that are all crinkly, and you just gotta practice with them. Use different ones. There's different openings as well. So I do like to use a Lucozade one in the UK because it's got a wider mouth. I can use like a 10 pence, which is a little bit smaller than a quarter, I think. But it's all about finding which one works best. You will, once you start performing it, you'll get used to it, and once you start practicing, you'll know which coins fit which bottles, so you'll be able to just walk up to somebody and just perform it. So just for reference, in the UK, this is a Lucozade bottle. I've just literally peeled the label off, so if I was going to perform this, I'd ask to borrow the bottle, and I'd just literally just rip the label off, and I'll say, get them to examine it. There's no holes or anything, it's their bottle. You can do that with any bottles. You can perform, like especially with a Coca-Cola bottle, they've got, it's a clear bottle, but it's just got a thin bit of plastic here. You can perform it with that plastic on, absolutely fine. It's used as cover, if you like. So you can have the coin gimmick at the back here, and the front part of the label will cover it for you, and you'll get a straight drop down there. It's just using the same principle, and just trying out different bottles. That's all I did. I just bought loads of bottles and just tried different things with them. But you'll find the best bottles to use, and know when you see them that you can perform this, that, and the other with them. So a couple of afterthoughts. If you're not comfortable with palming coins, finger palming or classic palming coins, you can always use sleeves. If you're wearing a jacket, you can always sleeve a coin, have a coin already up your sleeve, keeping your arms bent, and then when you need that coin, just drop your arm and retrieve it into a fingertip rest position. I didn't want this coining bottle to be like the rest. That's why I didn't want to use rings or anything like that. I wanted my hands to look as clean as possible. I wanted it to look like real magic, like it really is melting through that bottle. That's why I sacrificed performing this for large crowds and brought it down to a small crowd with every minute detail, which makes it look like it really is going through that bottle. So thanks again guys for purchasing Dimension. It's taken me a while to get it looking as good as it does, so I really hope you go out there and perform it. You will get some great reactions, but just remember to keep practicing and get it looking really good. Film yourself, watch it back. If it's no good, just keep going, and you will get it. You will find which ones work best in which different situations. You just got to sort of gauge your audience, but you will get it. Keep going. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can find me on all my social medias. I perform under the name Duane Magic, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll help you as much as I can.